I've always loved my toys, whether it be my first push bike, skateboard, car, or now this little classic. And I know how much time and effort I put into them because I love them so much. Well, I want to instill the same in my kids. Now, I've done little gardens like fairy gardens before, but they grow out of that. I'm talking about a little plot of land that's their toy, that they can play with and watch things grow and learn. So I've got a boy and a girl version so I can influence mine and hopefully your kids too. Now, this space has been many things over the years, but the majority of the time it's been our herb and veggie garden. I pulled everything out a couple of months ago, improved the soil, and it's just been resting. So now, if I prepare it right, it can be the kids. They can enjoy it, appreciate it, and hopefully grow me some herbs and veg at the same time. I'm going to create 2 frames out of tree to pine logs to create 2 different spaces. So there's 2 very different gardens and no arguments. Now these are maxi slabs. They've got round on 2 sides and 2 flats on them. When it comes to painting them laid down like this, it's a bit hard to do the whole thing, but I can do about 2/3, move on to the next one, and then by the time it's dry, I can flip it over and do the other side. Now the orange, it's called Orange Delight, and the green for hides, it's called Applegate. Flowers will attract the bees and the butterflies, and the bright colours, they'll attract the kids. And I'll screw it across the top with bugles, and that'll keep the posts apart. Okay, the orange frame is for Jake. Now, Jake's 7, he's a typical boy, and he loves spiders. So I'm going to put a spider web inside these 2 posts. I'm putting a brace here because if I didn't do it, when I tightened up the spider web, these posts would come in, and it all looks skew-if. So this can come off once it's in the ground and the soil's round. So from the 5 small eyelets, I'm doing 1 line to this big eyelet, and I've gone with a black rope with a red and yellow tinge to it because it was dirt cheap out of Bunnings. And that's what it looks like from the front. And this bit is where the spider's making its escape. And this twisted metal designed for climbers, I'll spray a bright purple. While I wait for that to dry, I can get back to my big boys' toys. Speaking of toys, how good is this little window cleaner from Karcher? Have you ever tried to clean the windows of your car and you always make a botch job of it? Well, this is perfect every time. This dirty window will be clean in seconds and no streaks either, thanks to the vacuum. And when it's done, I just chuck it on charge. And if I go bad, I can do this at the lights because it's cordless. The posts will go in the ground about 600 mil, and I'm going to ram the earth because I don't want concrete in my garden beds. Now, on the back of that Rio mesh, I'm going to cut some of it out and frame it with a hexagon. Now, you might think that's difficult carpentry, but it's quite easy. If you do a 30-degree cut and a 30-degree cut, and you make 6 pieces exactly the same, they'll join up and make a perfect circle, which is actually a hexagon. And it'll make you look like you're a pro, but it's dead easy. Once you've cut one, you can use it as a template for the other 5. The little backing plates are on the back side, so you'll hardly see them, but a coat of paint will disguise them even more. Pretty, except for what's in it. We all know the saying, good fences make good neighbours. Well, when you've got a boy and a girl, you need boundaries. This is definitely the girl zone, and this is definitely the boy zone. So I'm going to separate it by putting a pot in the middle and a couple of blueberries. A bit of corn because it grows fast, it'll keep the kids interested. And in the pot, flowers to attract the bees. I'm putting kale in, and believe it or not, my little family loves it. Not because it's healthy and a new superfood, because you can cover it in oil, cover it in salt and bake it. That's better than any chip you can buy. And for a bit of fun, we've got these cheap papers. They cost about $6 or $7 each. I've cut out a stencil of a spider web for little Jake, scented it, and spray it. And Bob's your uncle. All right, hats down.
Hats down.
Hats down so you can't see. All right, swap sides because the girls are on that side and the boys are on that side. All right, on the count of 3, you can lift your hats up. 1, 2, 3. Have a look at the spider web.
Where?
Hides, what do you think of your wall?
Cool. I've got blueberry.
Yeah, blueberry growing over there. Good, you know what a blueberry is, excellent. All right, now I've done the majority of the work, but this is going to be your garden, and this is going to be your garden. So I want you guys to take ownership. There's still plenty of plants to go in the ground. There's some stepping stones, so let's get busy, all right? Check out these steppers.
Oh, cool.
Which do you prefer, basil or strawberries?
Basil, because it's easier to grow.
It is easy to grow, isn't it?
I'm finished.
It looks great. What about you, Jake? You done?
Almost.
Almost. What do you like about your garden the most?
The spider web.
The spider web. And what about you, Hides?
The flowers.
The flowers. I like how enthusiastic both of you are about gardening. And I reckon it's super important to get your kids into the garden and into gardening. The sooner you start, the better you'll be at it. And who knows, you might even find a career out of it.